Miss Horizon Chaser. Narito po tayo ngayon sa MIRDC. Dito po sa Bicutan City na kung saan po ay magkakaroon po ng press conference hinggil dito sa metal and engineers industry at ito ay ginaganap taon-taon. Kaya alamin natin ang buong detalye at paano po natin ito magagamit sa pang-araw-araw na ating pamumuhay para mula sa DOST or Department of Science and Technology. Ang ibang mga detalye pa kung gaano kahalaga itong mga metal industry dito sa ating bansa at ano-ano mga programa na gamit natin sa pang-araw-araw na ating pamumuhay. Kaya dito lamang po tayo sa Happy Morning Show. Ang nilikod, Miss Horizon Chaser. Happy morning. First question po kay Dr. Rogelio. Regarding po dun sa presentation niyo po sa Industry 4.0 po. And kasi pang araw-araw sa pamumuhay natin, nakita ko na napakahalaga po ng Industry 4.0. Yun na, nag-media po ngayon lang. So, ano po doon ang mas pahalagahan po natin sa industriya na yun? At na kung saan po ay kailangan sa ating bansa at bakit po kaya?
Okay, so maraming salamat po sa iyong tanong. Ayon sa aming survey, ang pinakamalaking sector is the food industry. So sa food processing, talagang siyempre napakahalaga para sa food security natin sa Pilipinas. So doon po yung kailangan natin na ma-advance yung food processing natin. Yung pinaka-importante, ayon po sa aming survey na ginawa. So, food sector ang mas kailangan na pag-iba yung processing. At saka sila yung nag-a-adapt talaga ng mga technology sa Industry 4.0.
Alright, thank you so much. Para naman po sa question number 2 po sa Amerian, Dr. Albert. Nabanggit niyo po kasi kanina na syempre yung mga client, di ba po, na gusto po talaga nila na matulungan sila, di ba po. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng problema kapag hindi nila naibibigay yung full story. So, ngayon po, sir, nakanino po kaya ang problema naman? Kasi kung bakit hindi nila mailabas yun, baka naman po yung client natin, hindi talaga nila alam paano ilabas yung full story nila para malaman niyo po kung saan sila matutulungan. So, may nakahanda po ba tayo doon na mga questions na po pwede na mailabas nila yung full story para maibigay ninyo yung full support doon sa mga clients. Dahil gusto po ninyo na umunlad po yung kanilang industriya, di ba po? So, pahingi po ng halimbawa para doon sa mga client ngayon na gustong maghingi ng tulong po sa inyo para po maintindihan nila na mahalaga pala yung ganun, yung ibibigay nila yung kanilang full story. Thank you so much.
Salamat sa tanong. Actually, may dalawang aspekto yun. Pag-triage, parang medical emergency, after triage, yung pwedeng lahat mapasok sa emergency room. So yung pag-triage, may dalawang component. Una, yung taong magtatanong. So, kung nakita nyo yung diagram kanina ng ecosystem, importante na yung first aiders, kumbaga, yung unang touch point ay nakakaintindihan ng technology plus yung business, commercial aspect ng technology ngayon. So that's one. Secondly, part po ng certification activity na pinakita ko rin sa flowchart ay sets ng questions and self-assessments na pwedeng gawin ng mga actually, ginagamit na po yun ngayon, the team actually, MIRDC is already implementing some of them. We're still developing more. So meron kaming isang set of 14-point question that will give a big picture of the current status of the company itself. Meron yung self-assessment na dinidevelop ngayon na mas detalyado. Plus, you also include other forms of traditional problem-solving methodology like PESTEL. So, marami naman po kami. Structured, actually, approach na sa pagdating sa lectures. You know, business owners, they will tell you a life story. So, you have to listen and see through that. And we have to train ourselves to sift ano yung sa kwento ng buhay nila na kanilang business ang ma-address namin. At kailangan i-clear po yan, by the way. Pero tatawag na low-hanging fruit, pwede na isolve ngayon. Pero hindi naman na long-term pala yung kailangan. manpower training, or purchasing, etc. etc. So all of this is part of what FATRO program is trying to address. Pero yes, meron po.
Alright, sir, last na lang samantalahin ko po. Alin po kaya ngayon ang kailangan natin ngayon na mas bigyan ng tulong po sa mga clients po natin na pangunahin ninyo na bigyan ng pondo, ganun. Kasi ang dami mag-a-apply, sigurado, di ba po? Pero alin specific lang po na mas bibigyan ng pansin ng MIRDC na tulong agad?
I need to unpack your question. Yung po bang tanong ninyo ay anong type ng company? Anong industry?
Yes.
Anong maturity level ng technology?
Kung alin po sa kanila doon, sir, ng mga company ba? Or kung anong klaseng negosyo po ba? Yung tinututukan ninyo po ngayon na mas pangunahin sa pangangailangan natin ngayon sa pang-araw-araw. Kasi para naman po yung iba, agaran na rin mag-apply, di ba po? Pag alam nila sila palang kailangan yun. Parang gano'n.
So, DOST and MIRDC especially has been looking at the metals industry for the longest time. Yun naman talaga yung focus ng MIRDC. No? Pero katulad ng mga pinakikita tayo ng kanina, metals are involved in construction, agriculture, etc. So, in short, our fingers are in all plates right now. Yeah? So, sino dito yung unahin natin? Dito kailangan mag-prioritization. Panabanggit ni Dr. Jason kanina yung food industry. Why? Because all statistics show that 1/3 of employment comes from food manufacturing and food processing. 10% to 15% comes from agriculture. These two are kind of like bundled together. And they require technologies na kailangan ng metal. So, papasok na ng MIRDC. So, pero even in this, iba yung need. May MSL, merong medium-sized company na bibili talaga ng malaking machine. Merong SME na kailangan ng funding. No, may micro company, dalawa lang silang empleyado, yung mag-asawa lang, kailangan ng funding more than anything. We never turn away. I hope the West never turns away these people. But we also have to assess them. Marami namang sangay ang DOST to help. May mga regional offices, may mga provincial offices, NCRs quite very active in this as well. So, I do not know how to answer your question. Kasi kahit lalapit yan, kanina nag-usap kami ni engineer na isip namin, we have to help the people who wants to help themselves. Lalapit sa iyo, may problema po kami, pero ayaw kong mag-grow. Ay, ang dami-dami namang issue yung shadow risky. Di ba? Ano ito, kwentuhan lang. So, we have to also figure out which among these clients, potential clients, really want to kahit, di ba, minsan malalim po sa gobyerno, minsan nababaw. Di ba? Depende kung paano na nakausap. So, things also change very dynamically. So, to your question, I cannot answer really because as of now, we've already tried to serve everybody. But in terms of prioritization, we're just looking at numbers. Food manufacturing, food processing, and agriculture-related raw material production are critical to us. Laging problema na taong bayan ay mahal ang bilihin. They normally refer to food.
Alright, thank you, sir. Para at least alam lang po nila.
Yeah, encourage ko yung mga mama and papa na nagpuputos ng pagkain. They are the ones who really need support right now. They employ directly people.
Alright.
Diba? Na feel nila yung benefit of tinamaan pagka nakaka-away sila.
Alright, sir. Kasi marami nga mga clients kayo very sensitive. Hindi nila naintindihan. So, at least, pinaabot lang po natin. Thank you so much. Happy morning po ulit. Miss Horizon Chaser po ulit. Sa highlights po natin, kay Engineer Dilan. Sa highlights po muna tayo kay Sir Dr. Agustin Apodoli and kay Engineer Reynaldo de la Cruz. Kasi po, tungkol ito sa natin sa funding. Kasi napakalawak po ng ipinakita na yung operational frame. So, alam niyo yun, yung pondo na binigay sa atin ng gobyerno, sapat po ba ito? And ano po ba yung mas kailangan pa natin na pasulungin doon? Kasi napakahalaga ng operational frame na pinakita, napakalawak, sobrang lawak. At congratulations po ulit. And also doon kay para isang question na rin po kay Engineer De La Cruz. Yung mula kasi po sa 18th century, tinalakay niya, di ba po yung 1.0 industry hanggang 4.0 industry. Mula po doon, alin po kaya ang dapat manatili mula doon sa 18th century hanggang ngayon na kailangan pa natin na maipagpatuloy na hindi pwede mawala? Meron po ba nun? And bakit po kailangan natin mapanatili yun? Kasi kung yun naman po ang kailangan talaga na manatili sa ating bansa at para makatulong sa ekonomiya at sa mga kababayan po natin. Para lang po malaman ng nating lahat at mapahalagahan. Thank you po.
Okay. From the perspective of manufacturing, like kami na sa aerospace industry and sila sa metal industry association, ito yung mga nagpo-produce ng mga produkto related to metal, sheet metal, parts, and assemblies, maybe even plastics. In our perspective, we are actually driven by the need to modernize, no? Because itong modernization na to, itong mga digital platforms na to, itong mga ERP, CRM, all tools of the digital platform that we can harness in order to be very efficient and very competitive with our neighbors, okay? Working for our individual companies, whether it be local or kahit na yung mga imported companies who are here na pinagsisilbihan ng mga Philippine counterparts, okay? Because we know that, for instance, aerospace, okay? Kung halimbawa meron tayong robust na aerospace industry dito, whether it is owned by, sabihin mo, a multinational, yung mga nasa supply chain are also getting developed. Itong supply chain na to are local companies who dips into the economy of these multinational companies. And so if they employ, say, 3,000 people, this is already a good contribution for one company. And if we have many of these companies, then that will have a multiplying effect to our company. And let alone, there may be some innovativeness in the local scenario where they say, kaya namin gawin ito kaya namin gawin ito. Like for instance, ngayon, alam niyo, nagpapalipat tayo rocket, marami tayong satellite na pinadadala doon sa space. No? At yung mga rocket na yan, after 5 years, bumabagsak yan. No? Tapos, kailangan natin palitan. Why? For reasons of, sabihin ko na, exploration and something, defense, maybe, communications, those are something. And we are planning, and most of the things that we use in order to fly out of space are all imported outside. Okay? Now, what if there are local components that we can do? What if we can do the whole thing? Well, that is the challenge. Okay? Now, the challenge, if only we say we manufacture everything here, then that's a big thing for our economy. Speaking space, they're speaking of trillions of dollars of business. Okay? Pero kung lang yung contribution natin. So, the manufacturing aspect of this, that's how we take it. No? It has advantage for us. Doon naman sa mga agricultural sector, there are so many things that we can mechanize in agriculture that yes, it can replace jobs, but yes, it can open opportunities for others also. How to maintain systems nito. And so I think what we probably as a country, as the OST, is doing right now, we're heading towards the right direction. Yes, mabagal, but are there things that we can do in order to fast track that? And one of the things that probably, this is an expert, in what I have seen for the past so many decades in that industry. Kung makapag-imbita tayo dito ng yung mga nasa high technology environment na in order to sila merong gain doon eh. Ang gain nila doon is lower cost. Okay, tayo naman ang gain natin is knowledge and probably an ability for us to replicate, innovate what they have done, and then more business opportunities.
Number one, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat for joining us. Number two, we hope to see you all sa M&A Week. Yung culminating activity natin, which is the M&A Industry Forum, is on June 20, Friday in Acacia. We're sending out invitations because we really hope na yung preview natin ngayon, makita nyo pa, marinig nyo pa the very details na meron pa kami i-share sa inyo more. So that's why we request your presence sa 20. You know, technology is changing really the way we think, the way we live, the way we interact, diba? And we fall prey to changing technologies. We're never going back to using typewriters. Meron pa po ba gumagamit ng typewriter? Wala na, no? We're never going back to sending letters sa mga kalapate. Di ba? We're never going back to that. And the many things that we do, everything keeps on improving. And then we have no choice but to cope. And that's what we're doing together. To see you all on Friday, June 20 sa Acacia. We'll send out invitations. Thank you again for coming. And good luck sa ating lahat. Maraming salamat.
The Weeklong celebration is all about highlighting the importance of the metals and engineering industries in nation building, and more importantly, showing how we're gearing up for the future.
I would like to ask you guys sa ating table dito sa harap, kayo po ba ay nagsha-Shopee, Lazada?
Yes.
TikTok?
Yes.
Kasi Industry 4.0 is really here. Yun ang parati namin sinasabi sa aming mga engagements, lalo na sa industry, sa general public, na hindi na lang siya isang konsepto. Nandito lang po tayo. So, na-experience niyo po ba, ma'am, na sa Shopee, may search lang kayo na isang item, biglang makikita niyo na siya sa Facebook at account niyo, may ads na doon na about that same item, binibentahan na kayo. And then, also, when you order from Shopee or Lazada, nakikita niyo agad na, ay, dadating na in 3 days yung delivery ko, yung item ko. That is all Industry 4.0.
Semiconductor industry are way ahead of everybody else in terms of adoption. But our MSMEs, those in food manufacturing, those in agriculture, and even our small-scale manufacturing, katulad ng metals industries, iilan pa rin lang po sa kanila ang may robot na nag-welding, iilan lang ang may IoT yung machine. So, this unevenness creates a problem, but also an opportunity for us. I always see inefficiencies as business opportunities, and this is what we wanted to do. Just Doc Jason actually in one of the slides showed what are the benefits of the technologies or adopting the technologies. But I wanted to point out one single idea. All of those benefits, when you total them up, come up with one thing, which is we want our companies to grow. We want them to have better market access. They can only have better market access if the quality of the product is better, if their price is cheaper, if they have better.
MIEM supports the local manufacturers in advancing automation, precision machining, and digital manufacturing capabilities. This is through sustained efforts in innovation, skills development, and industry collaboration. MIEM continues to elevate the Philippine metalworking industry and strengthen its global competition.
Just to share, it was mentioned as well kanina, yung Project Buhawi, na it was finished already, yung prototype, and it is version 1. So just imagine, if you look at just internet lang, check nyo lang, how much are the revolver weapons? It's actually millions of dollars. So just imagine if it is Filipino made. It's our target. We produce, we manufacture our own. It's a plus. Ang sarap sa feeling na we produce our own. So that's one of the projects we had with MIRDC.
We'll eventually substitute the need to import $3 million of blast furnace. So the projects put together is intended to raise the green steel production to 3.5 million tons within the next 2 years. This will result in an annual reduction of 7 million tons of CO2 worldwide, equivalent to planting of 200 million trees or removing 1.6 million cars from roads annually or offsetting CO2 emission of 1.4 million homes. So this is our future for the steel industry is here today already. And we're using these technologies, leveraging these technologies.
The equipment itself focuses on the time frame production. So existing na yung mga robotic and automation when it comes to cobots and highbots and different types of robots when it comes to use of welding. So we have now, andyan yung gumawa kami ng prototype ng mga inverted welding machines. Nag-training kami ng mga trainers para...
Especially sa DOST. Paano ang mga industriya natin? It's important that we know yung status ng ating industries. And MIRDC has partners from the metals and engineering and allied industries na mag-a-update sa atin. Every year ginagawa natin to para maging aware din kami sa DOST kung ano ang status ng ating industriya. So we would like to call on our first
industry revolution was what we call 1.0, and this was mid-18th century. This is the rise of mechanization. If you remember, most of the businesses, most of the processes that we employed before were all agri-based, until somebody invented the wheel and somebody invented the rollers and so forth, which started mechanization. And Industry 1.0, if we were to characterize that, this is the rise of mechanization, and characterized by the invention of steam power, where we are getting reciprocating motion out of steam, yung heated water, and then some machines that were made, earlier machines were the power loom, yung mga textile. I saw some machines working on this still up to this point. And so those were the early progression of technological advancement. And then Industry 2.0, which is the late 19th century, 1950s and so forth. Where
aside from the skills competition, yung usual na ginagawa ng MIRDC, yung offering mga pre-technical programs, mga 2 to 4 hour program. But yung usual na ginagawa natin before the pandemic, madami na po yung webinars. So actually, this every week, we have a total of 16 or 18. So 18 webinars. So invited po lahat po ng inyong mga kakilala kung gusto mo natin ng ating webinars. I-click lang po yung ating link sa ating website. So ang dami po nito from PDMA, PIAP, Megatron, MRSP, PWS, and of course yung facility ng MIRDC. Okay? So I think I will let go yung aking
MIRDC and the DOST regional office. So we are establishing one Metals Engineering Innovation Center per region. So with this, we have a funding funded by DOST, and these main services will include equipment and machine design, fabrication and prototyping, use of the facilities or time sharing. In this case, small M&E enterprises can make use of this equipment, skills training, and technical consultancy. So,
Okay, before you start